Well, I'm back at the dump again, and I'm going to see if I can find some more sodas, some milks, some medicines, whatever. Let's get started. Okay, we're down to the use layer here after about 20 minutes of intensive digging, and let's see what I've got. Got a bottle right here. Let's see what this is. This is an area, I don't know if it's been dug or not. And we have nothing. If this area doesn't pan out, because I'm hoping to find some, there's a little monkey dish. I like those things. They're good to use. They're usable. You can use them. This doesn't look too good. Looks like it's falling apart. I don't see anything very good here. There's a bottle back there. Is it a bottle? No. It's just a top to a bottle. Okay. There's a jar, some kind here. What is this? What is this? I have no idea. It's a big, it's cracked anyway. Here's a perfume right here. This is a prescription drug. Now we'll go on this side and see what's over here. This is what I was digging the other day. I don't see too much here today. If this doesn't work out, there's a bottle right there. But it looks like it's a soda. Jacobsen, worthless. Another Jacobsen, worthless. Jar, worthless. Now mind you, I'm not digging this for monetary value. I'm just digging it for this to get new different kinds of bottles. But at this point, it doesn't look like I'm doing it too good. What the hell? That's a cool looking bottle. I don't think this area has been dug out. It's just there's another Smile. They're all over the place, these Smiles. Well, let me see what I can do here. I'll be back. Well, my first milk came out here, and of course it's Swan Quality Dairies, and it has a pyro in the back. You can see it now. As you can tell, most of the time these pyros are not going to survive. So I'm looking at a cow and a kid, and that was right coming down here. So let me move this stuff over, and we're going to dig right in this area. Okay. Well, what came out of here, my phone's really acting up, so it's going to be hard for me to do this video. It seems like my storage is all filled up, and I'm not that good at figuring out why. But collagen, a big jar. I like these. 1940s. If you look up here, you see there's stuff up in here, but primarily it's just jars. So we're going to go off to bigger and better things because there's just nothing up here. So let's move on. I don't have much more time, and we'll do it again. Well, here's a cool one. It's a bar bottle, pre-prohibition, so no federal law, so it's, well, there is a federal law right there. Oh well. Cool bottle though. I'm not going to keep it. Let's keep going. This just popped out. It's a prune juice bottle. They're popular in the 30s. Let's keep going. Well, I'm here digging in this section. I've been moving around. I found a blown and mold Burnett's extract, so this might be a good spot. I'll go around some other place if I don't find anything cool. So there you go. Well, I thought I'd better show you what I'm digging up before it gets too late. You can see I'm down probably about 6 foot, and I'm hitting water, and as you know, I don't like digging in water, so that's the end of as far as I'm going down. Vitalis bottle. Vitalis was a hair cream. This looks like a collagen, but it doesn't say collagen, and it doesn't have, it just has a design, so whatever. These two little things here, a little perfume, nothing. This has it's a Lee & Perrins type bottle and a 3-in-1 oil. So far that's it. I'm gonna go down a little further and then start digging out. Here we are. I'll do a little live digging here. This jar came out. It's a nice, pretty jar, but it's just a jar, right? But I got bottles, so let's see. A lot of crappy iron, as most dumps have. There's a lot of broken stuff here. See another Lee & Perrins, but what's this? That's a glass. I like these glasses. Too bad that one's broken. But I feel something here. I don't know what this is. I won't keep you on too long because I don't want to run down my battery. But I know there's stuff in here. Just get to it, you know. Right below me is a bunch of nasty mud. There's something here. I don't know what it is. You can see there's a bottle right there. Let's see what this is. Another jar. Keep digging in here. I should hit something soon. I don't know what the story is in this place. There's a bottle right there. Watch it be a jar. It's a chemical bottle. At least it's a chemical bottle and not a Clorox or something like that. Here's a bottle. That's a cool looking thing. I don't know what kind it is. Very deco looking, has a cap and everything. You know, whose idea was to design these bottles for what they were making at the time is lost to the ages. We don't know. Okay, well, right now I don't know. There's something here. What's this? Get this out of here. Another sort of a Ponzi kind of. Hit that bottle. What's this? Pull it out. A candy container. Okay. If I find something good, I'll turn you on. Let's do a quickie. I see a whole bunch of stuff right here. See what is this all about? Where am I at? Yeah, okay. I want to make sure I document this. One bottle so far. Medicine bottle. Get in there. Group of bottles right here. I'll dig them out real quick just so. Listerine, we know that. What's this? That was a bleach. A little medicine. Get this thing out. What is this? A squib master bottle. A beautiful and a milk. Let's see what kind of milk this is. Tilton Dairies. That's common milk bottle around here. So I'm not too surprised. I'm not too impressed. Food bottle. See, there's a crap load of stuff in here, but I don't collect this stuff. I mean, unfortunately, my window of collecting is very small nowadays. I don't. Down the pike it goes. Let's knock this off and see what this is. I don't know what this is. Probably this feels like a giant whiskey to me. That's a square whiskey. It looks like a Jack Daniels. It's a federal law, but it's different than the rest of them. Federal laws, they'll come into their own someday, but only a few with any kind of merit. The rest of them are run-of-the-mill here. Okay, well, I'm not going to run my battery down for this stuff. As you can see, this is what I got so far, and we'll just keep on going. This is cool. It just fell out. It looks like some kind of jar. It has a little handle and two things come out of it. It's very floral. Really nice. Pretty real, probably old. Beyond this date of this dump. So, yeah, I like this. That might have made my day, because as far as bottles are concerned, you know, I got Stugatz today. You know, Tilton Dairy isn't the flagship bottle you want to find. But that's cool. And that brown, whatever it was, that brown Jack Daniels. I don't know if it's a Jack Daniels. It just shaped like one. But it came out of here, that vase or whatever the hell it is. So let's dig in here and see if something else is old in here. Everything seems to be broken today. But, you know, that's the story when you're in a dump that's been used for a long time. I like that. A little cup. They're cool. You know, in a restaurant kind of environment, they're pretty common. But okay, I don't think I see anything else to write home about, so I'm not. Yeah, another. You know about them drawers. I like the 30s though, you know. Once in a while. Yeah, 1900s dumps. There's a lot out there still, but they're hard to get to and from where I'm at. So, anything else in there? Nothing. So, let's keep going. Very common milk again, Glendale. Glendale Dairies. That's one of the more common prolific dairies in the area. And, you know, like I said, there's a whole bunch of them in here. You just gotta know where they are. Hey, another glass. That's a plain Jane, that one. Knock this down to see what's under here. Yikes. Most of it's food. There's a few whiskeys in here, but you know, I've been coming up with more or less food bottles. I might dig in here. That's the layer. The use layer here is pretty thick. It's just that I can't find anything worth writing home about, if you know what I mean. So, you can see, nothing, that's nothing. Okay, let's keep on going. Now, here's a Fed law that I'll keep. You can see, there's a ship on there. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a galleon on this. It's great. It has federal law in a banner, so it incorporates its logo, and it's just a cool daggone Fed bottle, which I am going to keep. So there's a keeper for Fed law. Good for them. Big roots here because I'm under a tree. See, when I got my camera on, I don't find anything, but then all of a sudden something pops up. Big metal is my main problem here. But if well, that's gonna come down on me. My arm is just not strong enough to throw the daggone thing. But I'd throw it over the moon if I could. What's this? Nothing. What's over here? I don't know what that is. If I find something cool, I'll turn you on again. I'm just don't want to waste my battery. Now that's a big one. A glass capsin. So before what 1929 or whatever that date is, that they stopped putting that on there. Big water glass. That's cool. I like that. It's amazing something like that hangs on and doesn't break. Or sturdier stuff. It just goes down by the wayside. There's another. It's a broken glass. See that? There we go. And over here, that's a little jar. Okay, keep going. Another cool federal law. You know, this is Wilson's. And you can see there's a guy with the world behind him. He's a judge. He's going to judge you on how much alcohol you can frickin' drink. Federal law. Hey, this is a cool bottle. I've always liked those Wilsons. There's a quart with Atlas holding up the world. That's another one of those. And if I could find one of those, I'd be very happy. But at this point, I've got my doubts. See this? That's clay. That's a pottery bottle. What's this? This is a household. You know, cedar, something like that. And the reason I know all this is because I'm always reading. I'm always looking for where these bottles, how old these bottles are, and you gotta go to the news. Look, what's this? There's another. That's nothing much. Well, when I dig that clay bottle out, or clay thing, whatever it is, I'll show you. Everybody likes blue bottles. Bonjour, everyone. There we are. Bonjour. Nice little bonjour. Well, that's going to be pretty much it for me today. I'm getting pretty burned out, and I'm not coming up with anything. What do we got here? There's a Perrier. That's one of those French bottles that are so common. What else is in here? It's really best. What's this? It's a big jar. Of course, the same old type. They don't change no matter where they are. I found a lot of plates and stuff, but nothing too great. There's a wire. There's this. There's that. And maybe we'll end on these two here. What's this? This is a Vitalis, which we found one of the smaller versions, and another useless jar. Whatever. See, there's a lot of metal in here. A lot of metal. And by the way, that clay crock was broken, so I didn't bother showing that. There's a few bottles here, and it's a biggie. It's a big federal law. Man, they like to drink in those days. And ketchup. So one more. What is it? Break it right down. This is a bean jar, I know that for a fact. Bicycle top. A brown bean jar. See that? And mostly broken stuff. So that's it. That's it. I'll see me in the roundup, and I'll fill you in on all the stuff that I dug up. I dug up a lot of stuff, but not a lot of keepers. So, bean jar, Vitalis, and Vichy water. Talk to you later. Bye. Just to give you an idea of what's in this dump and what's been left by other people. Things that are very common. I mean, blue bottles, you want them, you got them. You got plain beers and plain beers and plain sodas, or whatever you want to call them. There's a mug. I just wet my hands in that thing. But, I mean, you know, people make a big thing of blue bottles. They're all over the place, and when you come to a dump that's loaded, so that's it. All this stuff. All this stuff. Now I'm digging in this little area, and I'm coming up with sodas and beers. They're right here under this tree where no one seemed to bother digging. I've got a Croach bottle, Croachies from Asbury. I've got this one. I don't know what kind of beer that is, but there's sodas and beers here, and they're right on the surface because, well, cause nobody's ever. They don't dig right here where the vines are, but they're down in here. You can see there's another beer or soda. I just found a few off the top. What's this? Yeah, so there's one right there, and there's one right there. I don't know what the heck is going on here. There's a glass. I'm sorry. I'm not paying much attention. I'm sorry. I wasn't doing very good with the I don't care for that stuff, really. I mean, some people think blue bottles are great. They are. They're pretty, but as far as rarity and commonness is, they're about the same as any other. This here is nothing. It's a beech nut. If you remember those, I've mentioned them before when I dig around here, especially. Well, let me see if I find anything else. Right now, there isn't much here, except for these two so far and a couple other beers. So, if nothing else, that will be it for me today. Here we are again, doing a little review on some of the bottles that I dug up in the last dig. Still back in New Jersey here, and this was the second, well, actually the third dig I had went on to, and the second one didn't work out too well because I didn't find a lot, and my phone was acting up. But right now it's doing okay, so let's do a little review on some of this stuff. Let's start out with the beers. Now, while I was leaving the dump, I just happened to come across a section that was pretty much covered with giant grapevines, and it seemed that nobody had bothered to look under those grapevines, and I saw some bottlenecks sticking out of the ground, and lo and behold, it turned out to be older stuff than what's generally there in that section of dump. And about right before Prohibition, a lot of beer companies were scrambling to stay alive, and they put out a lot of near beer and things of that sort. And the beers that I'm talking about today are some of the survivors. Fidelio Brewery. This is a Manhattan brewery. It started out in let's see. This one started out way back in 1916, although this brewery goes back to 1880s. And this particular brand was registered in 1916, but it changed hands quite a bit, actually. It was really difficult to keep track of who owned what and when. But eventually this beer company did survive Prohibition. They made near beer, and they lasted all the way up until the 40s. But this is a 1916 version, I would say, the early version of this beer company. So machine made, and on the bottom there should be some markings, and I can't see them. Other than that, that's all much that I know about it. It has little hearts around the top, which I think is an odd way of doing things. The next beer here comes from Troy, New York, but whether it's a beer or soda, I really can't tell, because I went through all the archives of breweries and soda companies in the city of Troy, New York, and could not find this particular brand. You may not be able to see it, but there's a name there, Lorendo or Lorend. I can't really even spell it the way they have the font, so not an easy beer to or bottle to look up. It does say Troy, New York. Big city, but still in all, not much information on that bottle. Now here's a big hitter. This is Schaefer beer, and it has an interesting history. Schaefer started out F&M Schaefer, and it started out with Frederick and Maximilian. They were the Schaefer brothers. They migrated, they came to America in 1848. We're looking at a long time ago. And for a time, they worked for a brewer in New York City. But around the 1860s, they decided, hey, we're going to make our own beer. And with a recipe that Maximilian brought from his little town over there in Germany, they started producing, they produced beer. The thing about them was that they were not too, well, the information about their lives is very sketchy. I think once one of the brothers died, the other one kept going with the business, and then they sold to another person who sort of kept the Schaefer going, but they started changing the name. During Prohibition, they changed the name, and this beer did survive Prohibition. As a matter of fact, making near beer, and actually they cut a deal selling beer as a medical supplement. So you could go to they also partnered with the oldest bar in Manhattan, and I forget the name of this place, and I think it's still going, if I'm not mistaken. and so they sold their beer through them all through Prohibition, and so they were pretty successful. They lasted as Schaefer all the way up to 1981, where they were bought by Stroh's. Stroh's, in the end, was bought by Pabst, and the odd thing about this beer, Schaefer's, is the recipe had never changed. When Stroh's bought it, they kept the recipe, dropped the name Schaefer. When Pabst bought it, well, actually, when you buy Pabst beer, you're actually buying Schaefer beer, because what they did was they dropped the beer that they were selling and producing, and really, I mean, in other words, a Schaefer recipe is the same as it was 100 years ago, and over 100 years ago, and it's just now called Pabst, but it's really Schaefer. And this bottle here probably goes back to 1918, 1920, and it's not much. Under there you see New York, Schaefer Brewing. It's a pretty plain bottle, and I don't think it was very embellished to begin with, but big brewery, and oddly enough, in spirit, it's still going on. When you buy Pabst, you're actually buying Schaefer. I think that's a fun fact. Whiskey bottles, the dump I dig in the 30s. Well, there's sometimes you'll get some Prohibition bottles. I mean, they're before federal law, from the 20s and the early 30s up to 32. There was no federal law on the bottles up to 33. Then federal law, once booze became legal, the government stepped in and said, you know, under federal law, you cannot resell these bottles, and just to cover their, so bootleggers wouldn't use them, okay? But that didn't stop the bootleggers. This is a federal law bottle that I'll collect. I don't collect federal law generally, but this is a beautiful bottle. I have a brown or amber version screw cap of this, but this is a cork, and it has a ship on it, and it's just a great bottle. Whitehall Tannum is a glass company, a New Jersey glass company, and this is at least 1934 and onwards. I don't know how long they made this particular style bottle, and I don't know what brand it was, what brand of whiskey, but great bottle, love it, and one of the few federal laws I will collect. The next, let's stick with another whiskey. This one is Wilson, and this bottle I always thought is a lot of fun. On this bottle you will see that there's a globe, and they have a banner that says federal law. They do it very tastefully. Same with the boat bottle there, that they put it in a banner so it just isn't, you know, block printed on, and so it fits with the logo. What you have here is a judge looking down on you. I guess when you're tipping the bottle, you're going to have to feel guilty about how much of this you're gonna drink, and their saying was Wilson's, that's all. So is that all there is to the Wilson's legacy? I wouldn't know. I think it's still going on. Wilson's, you know, funny thing about these, and I'll iterate this, when you have a name, a logo, whatever, and it's not, you know, special. Wilson, how many Wilson in the world are there? Well, I looked around, and there's Wilson still going on. Now, whether it's the same company, I don't know. But the information I found was very little. I think it goes back to the 1890s, the Wilson whiskey that I seen, but is it this one? I don't know. They also make a fifth, which is really interesting because it's basically the same font, the same logo. It's a globe, but in the fifth, it's a round bottle, of course, and there's a atlas holding up the world. So it's a cool bottle. I have two of those. They're hard to find, but they're built around. They were made about the same time this one was, but that it is. This is another federal law that I will collect. Pictorials that are interesting, I will pick up. Now, changing gears a little bit from whiskeys, let's go to this bottle. Very popular. A lot of people find this bottle, College Inn. And there's, as far as I can see, a lot of controversy about it in my mind because nobody knows what College Inn this represents. Now, I'm tending toward the College Inn in Chicago, and it was out of a hotel that this came from. This was produced, a very famous hotel in Chicago. They put this out. It was near a university, and so they used that. There's another school of thought that it was from Maryland, and it was from the university. Actually put out a, I think it was like a clam sauce or a clam extract. I don't know. This had tomato cocktail in it, and it says that this bottle was patented in 1931, and pretty much that goes in line with the Chicago College Inn. So this is not an old bottle. It's probably about, what, 89 years old. Some people might think that's pretty old, and it is when you think about it. But that's it, College Inn. Very popular with people. They collect it. We are going to go over here to the only medicine that I could find any information on. And this is a very interesting bottle. It is put out by McNesson's Pharmaceutical Corporation. Now, this bottle probably had some kind of liniment, mouthwash. They made a whole bunch of stuff. They're the oldest wholesale drug and pharmaceutical producers in the United States. They go all the way back, way back to, I think the date was like 1830s, something like that, 33. And they're still in business. They're still around. They make, I don't know if they make medicine, but they make all kinds of stuff for hospitals. And so when you find a ribbed blue, you know, these rib bottles, people call them poisons or whatever. Well, they were most likely, they were put out by McKesson, and they were probably rubbing alcohol, essence of ginger. They made all kinds of flavoring extracts and things of that nature for medicinal purposes. So this company put out a lot of bottles. You'll find their bottles a lot. You'll see the bottles with lines in them, and they're usually square, and they have a label space like this one would have. And this is a pretty beat up bottle. It was near a lot of, but that's the original cap. You can see right there. I don't know if you can read that or not. But yeah, it was an eye opener for me. I didn't know that these guys put out that many bottles, but like 20% of the pharmaceutical bottles you'll find had holding products this company produced. There's a lot of dairy bottles in the 1930s in some dumps. This area, Northeast, a lot of dairies were in business, and I come across a lot of them. And let's go with one that is very popular. Alderi Dairies from Newark. This company is pretty popular, and it was bigger than I would have assumed it would. I mean, I did not know much about it. It was founded way back in 1894, and at one point it was one of the largest dairy producers in the United States. They had something like 10 or 20 creameries. They had 800 dairies making milk for them, and at one point they were the largest independent dairy in the United States, or one of them. And they're still around in one form or another. They change names like every corporation does. But this one here is a little store deposit bottle, and they would have had cream in this one, I would assume. So this is a pretty cool bottle. The other one is Glendale. Glendale Farms. Apparently, Glendale Farms is still around. It's a family farm. It also goes back to the 1890s when the first family member decided to 1893 is the exact date when this Mr. Glendale and his family started this dairy, and apparently it went from father to son, and it is still going, not as a dairy so much as a family farm. They have they make all kinds of, they have strawberries, they have you pick strawberries, you know, one of those kind of places where you can go to their farm market. They own a lot of land, they're pretty well off, they're just a well-established farming family, but they started out pretty much with a dairy farm. Now they're not located in Lakewood anymore, but they're in the vicinity, and I think you can go there and get pumpkins. They have a little farm festival there. A big farm, big farming family. So Glendale, this is a 1930s version, I would say, or at least late 20s. Thatcher Company, Thatcher Glass made this bottle for them. And it's just not very fancy. It's what it is. Now, the other things I found were just interesting. I find this bottle once in a while. All it has is numbers on it. It's blown in the mold, very heavy glass, 3913. I don't know what this was. Probably a cough medicine, if I want to take a guess. And it's a cool bottle. I just can't say much more about it. I couldn't find anything. I mean, you can't find information on just numbers. So it's impossible, really. Bonjour. This is a bottle from Paris. It's still going on, I think. And this was talcum powder in this. There was a cap, and you could pull a little lever that would open and close the holes. And so this was like a talc bottle, a beautiful blue, really vibrant. And they have several different styles of their products. Their bottles come, they have perfume, they have talcum powder. I don't know if they have face cream or whatever, but this one is pretty common. I find it once in a while. It's not rare. Other than that, the artifacts, I found this beautiful Victorian vase, or I don't know what they use this for. It just has that little handle that splits the top of it, so I'm not sure whether it was used for, it was a purpose for that. Maybe you put chopsticks or something in it. I don't know, but it has beautiful motif of olives. To me, it looks like olives. It might be lemons, or I don't know. But it's all in one piece, real nice. What you could use it to put flowers in. It could be a vase, you know, or you could hang it. Who knows? But it was nice to find that. And the other thing that was very curious, I've never heard of this before, is this is a cap. It says handy milk bottle cover. Now what you did with this was, once you open your milk bottle, you would, because you had a wax, you had a cardboard little, let me bring this over here. You had a cardboard, a little disc that fit in here, and over that you had aluminum or paper crimpled on top, you know, to preserve the milk. Once that was open, though, you could put your little cardboard back in here, and then supposedly you take this and put it on. It looks ridiculous, but I don't think it made it. I think this is a very rare artifact. I don't think this company went anywhere, because I've never seen it, heard of it. I looked for something like this on the internet. I found metal caps, but not this particular one. It's cool though. I mean, it's supposed, I don't know, does it work? It fits, but you know, you don't want to tip it, or it'll come right off. So somebody's idea, but cool artifact nevertheless. So there you are, my wrap up for my last dig. I might go out there one more time. Still things are held up because of somebody that I'm working with is not feeling too well, and so I'm slowly working on my own here, and when I find free time, I'm gonna go out digging. So there you go. I will talk to you later. Have a great day, and bye.